If there were a prize for the car company which has been around the longest, had the most successful racing history, and was the least known in North America, Alfa Romeo would win in a walk. Founded in 1910, its racing team was run in the 1930s by some guy named Enzo Ferrari, before he went on to build cars under his own name. Alfa has taken several swings at our market, most of them swings and misses. Okay, so the World Series is just over. Now part of the Fiat Chrysler Group, Alfa is up to bat in the away stadium of North America again. Leading off is the Giulia compact executive sedan, aimed right at the likes of Audi A4, BMW 3 Series, Jaguar X, and Mercedes-Benz C-Class. You could toss Cadillac's ATS into that mix, too. The Alfa starts at $48,995, which is in that ballpark. To start with, the Giulia is flat-out gorgeous. From every angle, there's something to admire. No gadgets. No styling tricks. Just pure design harmony. I haven't received as many compliments from passers-by about a car's looks for a long time. I even ran into a chap at a gas station in Michigan who had one. He had tried to order a red one like my tester, but had to settle for white. He said he gets compliments all the time too. About his car, he was quick to point out. The gorgeousness continues inside. The steering wheel, flattened at the bottom for added thigh clearance, could be a museum piece all by itself. Trim materials and execution are first-rate. My bum got a bit numb after 4 hours on the road, but otherwise, the seats are comfy and supportive for the sporty driving the car encourages. There's decent room in the rear seat as well. The rear seat backs fold down to increase cargo capacity. The release catches are in the trunk itself, not the most common way to do this. But it makes sense when you think about it. When do you discover you need extra space? When you're loading the trunk and it isn't big enough. The Giulia is motivated by a 2.0-liter twin-cam turbocharged 4, producing 280 horsepower, significantly more than its obvious competitors, with 306 pound-feet of torque on tap from 2,500 to 5,500 revolutions per minute. And 0 to 100 km/h comes up in a low 5-second range, which is sufficient for the Alfa to show its rear end to the competition in an impromptu drag race. Not that you or I would ever do such a thing. The engine is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, with maybe the largest steering column paddle shifters I have ever encountered. These are fixed to the steering column, rather than rotating with the wheel. This way, you always know where they are. But if they move with the wheel, they're more likely to be where your hands are if you need to shift coming out of a corner. I'm always of two minds about this. Typically, when I am in a car that does it one way, I wish it did it the other way. No wonder consensus has not been reached. If you prefer to use the main transmission lever to swap gears, it is a zero-travel electronic device. Shove it forward for park, back for drive, to the left for manual shifting, but the lever itself always returns to the same static position. I prefer it to move so you can tell by feel where you are, but I recognize that I have largely lost this battle. Or, you can just stick it in D and let the thing shift for itself. That's what an automatic is for. Speaking of being attached to the steering wheel, the starter button is also there, at about the 8 o'clock position, just outside the horn pad in the middle of the wheel. An unusual place for the starter, but once you're used to it, it's not too bad. Not as good as putting a proper key into a slot and turning it so you always know where your key is, but there's another battle I've lost. The Giulia has full-time four-wheel drive, with a carbon fiber prop shaft connecting front and rear axles to reduce weight and improve front-to-rear weight distribution. The front-to-rear torque split is adjusted as needed to keep you rolling in poor traction conditions, and to optimize